We rolling, we are rolling. Another edition to Biblical Twist Studios. Remember, I told y'all in the beginning I was going to dedicate one of my projects to creating some kind of podcast with a radical twist to things. So this is like episode 8 or 9 or something like that. I don't know. Fell off, but I'm gonna keep trying to be consistent with this project because I have a lot of things going on. So excuse me for not hitting my quotas. But no preacher, no judgment zone. Disclaimer: born sinner. Still healing, still growing, doing this for positivity. No church setting. I don't want your money, no offering. No religion, no control. I'm trying to switch up some things, do things a little different, you know. And no debates, just come with an open mind. Your logical cap on. No scholar. I just want to push the brand out there because nobody doing it, so somebody has to do it. Besides, we can all learn together. So yeah, no preacher, none of that stuff. So, and I'm a sinner. It's better to hear from a sinner than anything, right? So we can all feel like we're on the same page. You don't feel like I'm judging you, you judging me, or I'm controlling you or anything like that. So more of a firefighter, marine, angel, some people call me demon, teacher, whatever you want to call it, that's okay. But we're going to still push the brand regardless of what people say. Open minds only. He said, who shall we send to clean up this mess? I said, why not send me? Why not? Send me. And see, with the Bible, it's been a lot of mess with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? People have misused it. People have abused it. People have profited off the Bible. Even the Pharisees didn't want to teach people the correct way. And I never just went to a church that I actually vibed with the preacher, y'all, you know. And when they read certain texts, it's in like Roman, like sent doubt there, whatever. So I just decided to do something different where people can relate to me and I can relate to them on a third grade level where everybody can understand. And this is not about religion, this religion versus that religion, none of that stuff, y'all. We just gonna shoot facts and hopefully you can agree with me, right? So we're all healing from the mistakes from the past with our Bible because it seems like there's a lot of misconceptions about the Bible. Like it's been rewritten 100 times. Okay. And a couple of texts in the Bible that people don't relate with, like slave owners respect your master, some stuff like that. And I don't agree with it all. I just take the meat out the bone from the one I agree with, some certain key facts. And that's the only verses I want to teach about or relate to. And again, we're all going through this transition, learning at the same time, you know. So just vibe with me on Biblical Twist Studios. We rolling? Let's go. So I plan to teach in a way you can understand. We all know about the famous quotes, "In God we trust." The court system still uses the Bible to swear on. Law enforcement still takes oaths with God's name. And also the strongest currency in the world still has "In God we trust" on the back of it. And we don't seem to honor it or something like that. And I'm a part of that too. I'm not pointing the finger or I'm better than you, whatever. We just gonna keep it real and just ride, right? It's a lot of people that dislike the Bible or Christians or whatever. Not saying we're using tags or I'm a tag or anything like that, but it seems like they come for your head if you pushing that brand. Why is that though? It's like I think ChatGPT said they have 4,400 religions in the world. But if you're a Christian or you repping God, they gonna come for your head for some reason. I wonder why, right? Also, it's a collection of books. I like certain books in the Bible. And keep in mind, I'm not Bible thumping. I hate to do that. I'm not Bible thumping or anything. I just want to give you a different lens to help you understand the Bible, right? I'm not preaching. And doing this, you would definitely get a lot of enemies. But I like war. I don't complain about war. I like war. Because if you're doing something and you don't have opposition or enemies or status or blocks, then you're not doing it big enough. So I enjoy the competition and the wars and all that stuff like that. Made a commitment to push this word out, to balance out the vibrations. And again, these are just principles to live by. Of course, we're all gods. Of course, I'm not doubting any of that. God's within. We know that. I push a lot of vibrational, spiritual stuff as well. I like to mix it in with the biblical as well. We can all relate to this, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Mexican, whether you're Indian or Chinese. I don't care where you're from. We can all relate to this, right? We can all agree that Noah's boys were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Again, I don't care what geographical section you came from in the world. We can all trace it back to those three brothers. Noah's boys. Right? We can all agree with that. Because I like logic. I don't want to talk nonsense. I just want to talk logic, right? And even though the people that push the word are the most hated, I feel like the Bible has some strong scriptures that I like to point out. The book of Genesis, the beginning, and I just want you to look at it from a different perspective, right? Even the Quran got majority of its texts from the Bible as well, and it's just crazy how people religions war over, certain text. My religion's better than your religion and stuff. I think religion's actually killed the most people in the world. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. I can go to 100 topics, but we're gonna stick to this though. Let's start off with Pops. Abraham, who God changed his name to Abraham later on. Different names. For reference, y'all can go to the book of Genesis to pull this up. Straight facts. I don't know any other religion that pulls out the facts. So Abraham's ancestry before him. The genealogy comes from Genesis 5, 10, and 11, tracing from Adam through Noah through Abraham. Now the line of Adam through Abraham, right? You have Adam, Seth, which is Adam's righteous son after Abel, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, and then after the flood, you had Shem, Noah's blessed son, Abrahax, Shelah, Eber, the name Hebrew comes from him, Peleg, and Reu, right? Straight facts, y'all. And then Serung, Nahor, Terah. Then comes Abraham. That was all before Abraham, right? And then I think we all relate to this lineup more than the previous lineup. Abraham, who was later called Abram. Terah had three sons: Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran was the father of Lot. Abraham, you know, his wives and sons. OG Sarah, she was the primary covenant wife, had a son named Isaac. This was the covenant line of Israel. Hagar, the Egyptian servant, had a son named Ishmael. Ishmael had 12 sons who became princes and tribes in a whole other region. These tribes populated much of Abraham religion. Okay? And then you had Gad, you had Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, Benjamin. I'm probably slaughtering those names, right? And then Abraham's line to Jesus. Real facts, y'all. So the New Testament tracks Jesus back through Abraham, key line. Abraham's the key line, the most effective, because you had Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Judah, David, and then Jesus came from David's line, right? Important figures in that lineup, right? It's like a basketball lineup. Judah, Boaz, Obed, Jesse, and King David. You feel me? Now, from David's royal line comes Jesus. Okay? Now, why is Abraham called the father of nations? God's promise. God promised Abraham, I have made you a father of many nations. That's Genesis 17. Because from him came the Israelites, which were the Jews, the Edomites, the Ishmaelites, the Midianites, and several Arabian tribes. Y'all with me? Straight facts, y'all. Facts. We're going to be logical with this, you know. So, after Sarah died, Abraham married Keturah and had 6 sons for Abraham. Zimran, Jokshan, Median, Ishbak, and Shuah. These sons became the tribes in Arabia and East Africa regions. Example, the Midianites, where Moses fled. Now, Isaac's line, we're more familiar with Isaac, right? As the covenant continues, Isaac then married Rebekah. And then maybe y'all will relate more to this. Rebekah then had 2 sons, Esau and Jacob. Like majority of people, they don't even understand what came before Esau and Jacob. What most people know is Esau and Jacob, right? Esau is the father of the Edomites. Jacob, aka Israel, right? But Jacob's name later changed to Israel. He had 12 sons, 12 boys. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Okay? These were the 12 tribes. I wanted to use this episode to break down genealogy, DNA. I think that's very important, you know, so people can understand that I don't think any other book will break down genealogy from God to Abraham to sons. So this is how serious this is, you know, it's real. there's been a lot of whitewashing and misuse of the Bible. Let's try to clean it up and get the main information we need out of there to benefit from. You know. Now, if you want to reference this, you can go to the Book of Genesis, the beginning, and this dates back to your main religions and stuff like that. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. The genealogy of Abraham. Over and out. Biblical Twist.